Alright, so this is my second take of this because my mic kept dropping out on my first one and it sounded like shit. So, I was gonna make this because I've had a lot of my friends asking me how I go about making my bases and shit like that, and I told them I would do this for them for fucking months now, and I'm just lazy. Uh, so I typically use Faceplant to make everything, and that is just what it is. I like Operator too. Another cool synth is Chiral. As you can see, I got quite a bit of other shit. Well, kinda a bit of other shit, I guess. But Faceplant that's my baby right there. It's the bee's fucking knees. It's the shit. It's the coolest fucking synth there is. Fuck Serum and Vital, I guess, can be cool too. I just don't really care for it that much. Alright, now I'm off my spiel. Let's go ahead and fucking, make a bass or something like that so I can kind of give you an idea of how I go about making everything. So typically start with just a wavetable and another wavetable. FM them using the phase. So obviously you can hear we're adding harmonics during that. That is always usually how I start, is maybe two sine waves or a saw, but I typically prefer the sound of sine waves over a saw by the time I start getting deeper into this, just because it's a cleaner source sound. Typically start with filters, do some shit to them. On Windows, you can control click your filters, or control click the filter, excuse me, and it'll duplicate it. But we got a couple other things that I actually need to set up first. So pitch decay, we want to have punch in our bass, because no punch equals no oomph, baby, and you want them basses to have some fucking oomph. And glide, usually I'm in between 100, let's just go with like 105 for this. 75 to 125 on glide is usually a pretty good amount, because otherwise you can't really tell it's like gliding. And even at 105, it just makes it a little smoother sounding to me, or like 125 is pretty default for me. A couple other things that we're going to set up before we even go any deeper is random LFOs. Whenever you right click this, you can set this to never. So whenever you click a note, this is not going to change. Like, it will not reset. Like, I think by default is it that one? Auto? Yeah, whatever auto is. I think that's the auto. Yeah. So whenever you click a note on that, it'll always start at a random point. We don't want that. I like everything to be kind of randomly generated in a way, so anytime I click a key, it's different than it was before. So we're gonna get like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these fucking random LFOs set up, just because we're gonna be using them. Let's just start mapping, because that's how you start getting the cool results quick. Let's see here. In this one, we'll turn down, but I usually like to go positive on these so they don't go too far down into like sub range and start fucking with shit. So as we get deeper into this, you'll start hearing where these filters come in and playing. It's really just about like turning knobs in some of these beginning stages, and you'll find something that can be unique later. And the end result, like you'll get something that you didn't anticipate, really. fucking love disperser. I put that shit on everything. Next, you go to multipass. There's a factory setting that's not OTT, but it is OTT. You know, we all know that fucking sound of OTT. That beautiful fucking crispy ass shit, baby. So after I kind of set this up, this is usually how all my racks start. I might even have more filters than this, tighter cue points, notch filters, or bell curves that are, you know, inverse, like negative gain compared to positive gain, if that's what you want to call it. That's just how I think about it. So typically I'll throw a little erosion on, wide noise. We want to open that bitch up with the width and spread it, baby. Oh yeah, fuck it. Fucking spread them, baby. And you can hear we're getting that noise in there. No big deal. If you have Ableton, you know about erosion. Fuck, it's been around for years. It's been used and abused, man. Just like me. So next we'll do the frequency shifter. Do the little trick. We've all heard that little trick before. Nothing new there either. A lot of this is just simple shit. It's just the way you process it afterwards, and kind of like in an order of effects, I guess you can say. You know, we'll fuck it. We're gonna throw more disperser on it because I love this shit. It's amazing. I love that wet ass fucking sound. It just makes me go, ah, chef's kiss, baby. It's good. It's nice. Let's see here. What else could we throw on this that might be cool? Let's start trying some distortions, I guess. Mishbe's cool. We never want to use that noise because it stays on no matter what if you're not even hitting anything. And the desync, this rate and delta, is kind of like a pitch warble thing-ish, tape machine-ish kind of shit. I'm horrible with terminology. Just, if I'm wrong and you think I'm stupid, so be it. Take this quality knob on Mishbe is kind of weird. It like degrades the sound or makes it cleaner, depending. I'm not 100% sure. Mishbe is just a weird fucking plugin, and it's fucking super cool because of it. It's just really adds a tonal characteristic kind of to the sound that I don't really think any other distortion / whatever the fuck is going on in this thing does to anything else. Like Rift can do really dope shit. Tantrum's super dope too. Decapitator's super fucking cool, and Dynamic too. But we'll get to Tube in a bit. That's one of my other loves of Ableton stock shit. So we're starting to get there a little bit, but we need to get some more out of this thing. And this is where we do the fun shit of fucking stack up some OTTs, baby. So maybe our envelope here is a little bit long. Disperser and pitch envelopes are kind of weird, and they do a similar thing to a sound. I don't know if it's because of the all pass filter thing, and it makes the pitch envelope seem a lot more drastic, I guess is the right word. I don't know. I'm fucking horrible at speaking. Let me gonna rip off my fat fucking vape, dude. Elf bar go hard. But you can even hear like that disperser click in the bottom of this compared to this pitch envelope. It makes it way more like it adds like a lot more of a transient to a sound for some reason, and it can be nice, but it's also one of those things where it's a cool thing to put into sound like songs sometimes, that transient and short click like that of a disperser. It's also disperser on kicks, fucking tight. You learned that here first. So kind of with what we got now. So we're getting somewhere kind of cool with this thing. Let's try throwing just more shit on it, dude. Like that's the name of the fucking game right here. Adding movement and filter and everything. This is just, turning to be a neuro bass, but it's one that is not just a detuned saw wave, and that's what makes this shit dope. And we'll eventually change out more of this shit. So next we're gonna grab vocoder. Vocoder. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Holy fuck. That about blew my fucking eardrums out. And the thing about vocoders, always change his fucking range around. Play with the bands. The bands are basically a bandpass that all the number that you have is how many bands there are that are splitting up the spectrum of the sound, if that makes sense. You can do some dope ass shit like that. Like with this, with the format, you can either get more highs out of it, or if you want more lows out of it, that's how you can do that too. But I typically turn that dry wet down just like everything else, because this is all about adding little bits and pieces over the whole thing to make a big clusterfuck of cool shit. So one of my favorite fucking distortion things ever, and it's so fucking underutilized, is dynamic tube. There's this trick that I learned from watching Resonant Language. Turn up your envelope, turn up the bias. Just for example, we'll make this really drastic. Turn the envelope up to 300. And you can hear it's like thinning the fuck out of the sound. But we don't want it to be that thin. And you can see it's doing the offset shit that Tube does, but that doesn't matter because we're going to use this as a top layer above a sub in the end. So let's go ahead and get back to good old trusty disperser. You can hear we're getting some cool tones out of that. Maybe we need to turn this down a little bit. Yeah, so we're getting there. You know, why fuck it, why not? Let's get another one. So that's cool. And then to kind of top this thing off, do a glue compressor kind of with this setting, soft clip it. So we're kind of flattening out that waveform now, but to put this into space, we're going to use a reverb send. This is it's technically a send, but it's not a send in Ableton like, you know, your normal, why the fuck is that not popping up? I guess I deleted them on my on this template that I use, but it's just a parallel dry wet. The wet is a 100% reverb into a EQ that's cutting out all the low end of the reverb into a utility. You map the gain of the utility to one of your macros, and you know, it works like that. But the thing is, like, if you want to create swells or something like that, let's say we have a longer reverb, like, and we still, you can do it works like a send. It does, and it's nice because of that. But you can hear now it's in a space kind of, and has some width to it. And finally, go with another glue compressor, soft clip this, and we got a fat fucking bass. And then an EQ, cut the lows out of this motherfucker, take the whole thing, group it. We're gonna open up another channel, create a chain, throw in a operator, one voice this, pitch bend. We'll just set it close enough. It's probably, I think, I don't know, somewhere around 100. I'm not, I can just look, fuck it. 80.6, 80.1, you know, close enough, no big deal. Take a distortion after that, boost it by 12 dB because our volume is negative 12 dB. Yeah, fun stuff, right? And now you got a fat ass fucking bass. I understand it's clipping, but that's why we're gonna throw a limiter on the end. No more clipping here. Good to go. I really only use that sub bass as kind of a way for me to tell when writing what note I'm playing, because it's not being affected by the Mishby kind of like warble of the pitch that we added into the actual top end. And I don't think that the warble caused by Mishby is enough to affect me at the end of the day when writing a tune that it sounds like it's out of key or something like that, typically. That is kind of the basics for the patch, but now we're going to go in and really change this thing up and get different tones out of it. So if we wanted to, we could start recording this here. It's basically just taking the audio and resampling it and live time by picking up the audio post the master. And I'm not going to do that now. I'm kind of just going to walk through this and show you guys shit that I would do to really make this thing pop the fuck off. And let's see here, let's try a low pass. So for example, is that, let's see here. You can do that, record all that in real time, but that's why we're going to take one of these other fucking random knobs and just assign it so I don't have to do that. And, let's let's turn this down. So it kind of got rid of that laser zep by taking down that disperser a little bit, which is kind of nice. Another thing we can do is take a random and modulate the amount that the FM is coming in at. So let's try another thing here that's pretty tight that I like to do too, since Faceplant V2 came out. They added this new LFO table thing, which is fucking tight, but we're gonna kind of make this thing just so randomly generated that it's already different every time you hit a key, but it's really going to be different whenever you start adding this. Just keep going down the rabbit hole of doing this shit. So, so we want this thing to be slowed down a bit. Why is this not changing? Oh, we just want it to go. Well, we do want it to be positive and negative, but I think our mid frame is, what is the top? 256. Math. 128. If we set the frame to 128. So we're gonna keep going down this rabbit hole of just adding more fucking shit. Now we're gonna take an actual wavetable, you know, FM, the source that's FMing the main fucking output source. Maybe that's not the fucking wavetable we like. So let's try changing it. Let's just try this same clean change one. I like this waveform a lot. I've made a lot of cool basses with this one. You know, fuck it. We're gonna turn that back off because it's not acting the way I want it to. Alright, so let's take a filter here, and we're gonna turn down some of those highs because it's pretty bright. And you can hear like all the variation that can come out of this thing. And I'm not saying this is a perfect way to do it. I'm sure that you guys can build on this and really take this even a step farther than what I am. It's just, this is how I like to do it. So instead of routing a wavetable into this one and then going into this one, let's just change this wavetable to something different since we already have it set up. So we need to add a random LFO onto the wavetable frame now of this. Let's say we don't want it as bright, turn the FM down a little bit. And doing all that's cool, and then since you have the erosion, it kind of, you know, gives you the white noise. Like, you can make noise bases out of this where it's just like, you know, sub and fucking noise, like. And I actually prefer to do them like this now because they still have like a movement to them based off of this FM that it's weird how it affects the top end some way, and it's not that, you know, fucking overdone rattlesnake white noise bass where it's just, you know, like a sub and noise FM'd into a sine wave played at a lower octave to make it rattle and shit. I think this is it's a cooler way to do it, and it, you know, it's not rattling, but it has movement in it still that's unique, where it almost sounds like it has like a bit crusher to it a little bit, and I don't know, I think I just think it's more unique and it's cooler. And that's a cool way to do that, but yeah, so I think really that's kind of just how I go about making these basses. You can do a bunch of shit here too, like, you know, play within the rec you made, move shit around in it, and you'll get different tones coming out because it's going through different stages of processing, and little changes after this much shit make a big difference in the end result. Yeah, so I think that kind of wraps up me talking about how I make basses and shit, and I think this one actually turned out pretty good. This has a lot of usable material in it. I didn't record any of it, but if you do, just sit there and play with the shit. Turn the knobs, fucking change the harmonic that the FM is playing at. Do that shit with this LFO table and map that to the level, and you'll get cool results out of it. I can almost guarantee it. I made a lot of sounds doing this shit. Lots and lots. And so with that, let me save this real quick. Sound design. Let's do 12/5/22. Okay, because I'm gonna come back to this and record this after I'm done because I like this one. So I'll give you an idea of how I use these in context whenever you get that whole thing, because it's basically just making a mud pie like anyone else has ever fucking done, and I'm guaranteeing you've heard of that term before. Yeah. While this loads, I'm gonna hit my fucking vape, and you're gonna like it. It's gonna get real sexual in here and naughty. Oh yeah, baby. Only one and done. That's all you get. So I'll play this and kind of give you an idea of how I put all these chops into context. This one I'll probably release soon-ish, maybe. Who knows? Depends on how I'm feeling.
About zip weed, hit the club, pay for about 10 niggas to get in. We crunk, lit, in it, bitch. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, so that's example one, I guess, but I'll go into this second part too. Why not? Alright, so you get the idea. Quacks, duck quacks, fucking everywhere, baby. They're the best. What I always do with the basses themselves, everything goes into a sampler. I used to work with audio. Kind of got away from it just because I think sampler has a lot more strengths than working in audio nowadays. Being able to scrub through a sample and a sampler is way faster than doing it in audio and trying to find a good cut. If you ever watched all of Frequent's videos, I'm sure you've seen him talking about going fishing and shit like that and finding the good, sweet cuts that he says. And that's really all it is, but for setting up a sampler the way I do, usually there's a pitch envelope, depending on where I'm at in the bass sample. Like at the start of all the basses, since we created a pitch envelope, excuse me. The start of all the basses will have one, but if you're finding a spot that's in the middle of the bass that pitch envelope is done and over with, that'll kind of give you that nice punch still of when that bass hits. It's followed by a low cut, or yeah, that's what that's called. Or yeah, low cut or a high pass, whatever the fuck it is. You know, it's the same thing at the end of the fucking day. Whatever, who cares? I'm going off on a fucking tangent. And then I'll use that reverb send again, where it's just a full dry wet short reverb. Put the sound back into a space where it has an actual, you know, reverb tail and everything like that, that's real short and kind of fill out the space. Because without it, it makes it sound a little weird. Whenever you got reverb with no tails. But some cool things with Sampler that I can kind of show you. We'll just pick a couple of these basses out, for example. Like I know this one, that's got a pitch envelope on it. But something cool about it is, you know, you hear all those little donkey sounds. It's just an envelope, like a, you know, a volume envelope, and notes being played and whatever it is. I think these are eighth note, or it's a triplet. Yeah, triplets. So it's 12. Yeah, 12 note. I don't know if that's even the right fucking term, but yeah, I'm not a terminology guy. Just searching for a cool cut though still with these, because these can be tough to really find something that you like with, and not all bass samples are good for it. It really just depends on what you're wanting out of it. But another cool thing to do in Sampler, I'll try to just pull one of these random ones. Let's see here, which bass is this? Let me just actually duplicate this one, and I'll drag it out and show you another cool thing that I don't think too many people know, but I could be wrong about that. In here, let's just drag it straight onto a new bar. I'm gonna lengthen all these to 6 or something like that, so that way I can show you this little trick and have it actually sound okay, and I don't have to do a lot of work for it. So if you turn your aux on, select the sample offset. This value of 100 is dependent on the playhead here. Scrubbing through the entire sample based off of the peak amount of this envelope, I guess you can kind of call it. Yeah, ADSR. So as you change it, the sample start is at 0, but if, let's say, every note you want the note to be a different note, like you can just make a bunch of points here. That one will be 28, whatever, 57 on this one. And I'm not sure how this is going to sound. And you never will until you play it, really, or you do it by hand 100 fucking times. But now that when I play this, you'll hear what I'm talking about. So if I just loop, let's say these, well, we'll add one more just so it becomes a full bar and it doesn't end shortly. So you can kind of hear, I don't know where, let me change this all the way. Where the fuck is that delay coming from? Ah, yeah, there it is. But since this is on a new channel, I'll scrub farther back into the actual sample so you can hear a larger difference. Oh fuck. Okay, hold on. We're gonna lengthen this out even more because it's still really quick to be doing this. It's really, I find this trick good on like quarter notes and shit. We're just gonna clear those off for now. Okay. We're gonna change these to quarter notes and not in a triplet grid. Bonk 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 bonk. Oh fuck. All right, we're gonna start fresh on this. Hold on. My brain's shutting down. I think I'm going dumb fucking stupid. What is, make the whole thing long again. So now that we have this peak at 0, let's just take this. Am I fucking stupid still? What the hell is going on? Why are these still longer than a quarter note? I got this set wrong. Okay, that's what it is. I'm going crazy out here. What is change most of these around to something else, like whatever. Something like that. We'll just do these first 4. We'll find some better cuts maybe so you can hear the difference. Ooh, man, that one's loud and resonant. I'm gonna turn this down. I gotta go back in here, click that. And you can tell this is all playing just, you know, the same fucking note over and over and over again, but like if you can barely see it. I wish there was a way I could turn this to a different color, but I can't because it's, you know, Ableton. But the little orange bar starts about here, goes somewhere here in the middle, comes out here, and then comes back this way. It's a cool little trick that you can do to get some cool little fills and bass shit going on that are kind of nice sometimes depending on what you're doing. I like to use that a little bit here and there, and it's cool. And yeah, with sampler, that's pretty much it. This LFO thing could be really fucking dope too. Obviously, if you guys know this page, the MIDI page, this is how you can change the amount. Like if you want to do a pitch bend, like I did on this, you can change how much the pitch bend is affected over the period of time, or the value of how high, or yeah, I guess how high or low it can go. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I gotta cover for this one, but yeah, so I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.